Brandon Ingram to the Raptors. Can he revive Toronto? NBA breaking news. As the 2024-25 NBA season progresses, one of the most intriguing rumors in the league is the potential move of Brandon Ingram to the Toronto Raptors. The 26-year-old forward, known for his smooth scoring ability, long wingspan, and elite playmaking, could be the spark Toronto needs to ignite its title aspirations once again. But how would Ingram fit into the Raptors' plans? And can he truly help turn the franchise's fortunes around? The Raptors' current situation. The Raptors have had their share of ups and downs since winning the NBA championship in 2019. After the departure of Kawhi Leonard, Toronto has remained a competitive team, but has yet to recapture the same level of dominance. With star players like Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet, the Raptors still have plenty of talent, but they've struggled to find a consistent rhythm and make deep playoff runs in recent seasons. Entering the 2024-25 season, the team is facing questions about its long-term direction. With a roster that mixes experienced players and younger prospects, the Raptors are at a crossroads. The current mix of talent doesn't seem to be enough to put them in title contention, and the need for a true go-to scorer is glaring. Brandon Ingram's strengths. Brandon Ingram, currently playing for the New Orleans Pelicans, has blossomed into one of the NBA's premier forwards over the past few years. He has a smooth scoring game, capable of getting buckets from anywhere on the floor, whether it's his deadly mid-range jumper, ability to finish at the rim, or improving three-point shooting. Ingram's length and versatility make him a tough matchup for any defender. And his playmaking skills have expanded over time, making him an even more valuable asset for a team like the Raptors. The biggest selling point for Toronto is Ingram's ability to create his own shot. The Raptors have been in need of a player who can take over games in crunch time, something they've been lacking since the departure of Kawhi Leonard. Ingram's composure and ability to score in isolation or run pick and rolls could be a game changer for Toronto's offense. Moreover, Ingram is a two-way player. His defensive abilities are often overlooked, but he has the size, length, and athleticism to guard multiple positions, making him a solid defender on the wing. His addition could solidify Toronto's defensive unit, which has been a hallmark of the team over the past few seasons. Fit with the Raptors. The potential acquisition of Ingram would give the Raptors a more dynamic offensive weapon. But how does he fit alongside Toronto's existing core? The Raptors' style of play has often emphasized ball movement, versatility, and defense, and Ingram would blend well with that philosophy. His ability to be both a primary scorer and a secondary playmaker would complement the talents of players like Pascal Siakam and Scotty Barnes. Siakam has shown that he can be a #1 option for the Raptors, but the team still lacks a player who can carry the offensive load in the same way that top-tier teams have. Ingram, on the other hand, could provide the scoring boost and create spacing that Siakam, VanVleet, and Barnes need to elevate their games. Defensively, the Raptors have always been known for their long, switchable defenders. Ingram, with his 6'9" frame and quickness, would be able to guard several positions, making Toronto's defense even more formidable. His presence would allow the Raptors to have more flexibility when it comes to matchups, giving head coach Nick Nurse more options on both ends of the floor. What would it take to get him? While the trade rumors are rife, the real question is, what would it take for the Raptors to land Ingram? The Pelicans are unlikely to let go of their young star without receiving significant assets in return. It's likely that any deal would involve one or more of Toronto's key players, including Siakam or Barnes, as well as future draft picks. The Raptors may need to be strategic in how they approach a potential trade, balancing the immediate need for a star with the long-term potential of their roster. Given the growing speculation around Ingram's future in New Orleans, the Raptors may also face competition from other teams, looking to add a player of his caliber. But Toronto, with its combination of youth, assets, and playoff experience, could be an attractive landing spot for the versatile forward. Can Ingram revive Toronto? The question of whether Brandon Ingram can revive Toronto is a complex one. The Raptors are not far from being a championship contender, but they need a reliable scorer who can be the difference maker in big games. Ingram brings the scoring and versatility that Toronto desperately needs, but there are still other factors to consider. The chemistry between him and his teammates, the ability to blend his offensive style with the Raptors system, and the development of younger players like Barnes and Precious Achiuwa are all important considerations. Ingram would certainly raise Toronto's ceiling, but the franchise would need to carefully integrate him into their system and build around his strengths. With the right pieces in place, he could provide the missing piece to the Raptors' championship puzzle. The verdict. If the Raptors manage to pull off a deal for Brandon Ingram, it could be the jolt the team needs to compete with the best in the Eastern Conference. Ingram's scoring, versatility, and defensive capabilities make him a perfect fit for Toronto's system, and he could be the X factor that propels the Raptors back into title contention. However, whether this move becomes a reality depends on the Pelicans' willingness to part ways with their star and Toronto's ability to strike a deal that doesn't sacrifice their future. The NBA offseason is always full of surprises, and the possibility of Ingram heading to Toronto adds yet another layer of intrigue to the 2024-25 season. If it happens, don't be surprised if the Raptors make a deep playoff run,